I was just about to leave for my daughter's house for dinner when my phone buzzed. It was my lawyer, and the message sent a chill down my spine. "Call me immediately." What could be so urgent on a Friday evening? I felt a knot tighten in my stomach, a premonition that my world was about to be turned upside down. I never could have imagined how right I was. The life I thought I knew, the family I thought I had, was all a lie. And the betrayal came from the one person I trusted most in the world. My daughter, Chloe, was my only child. After my wife passed away years ago, Chloe became my entire world. I dedicated my life to making sure she had everything she ever wanted. I put her through the best schools, helped her with a down payment on her beautiful house, and was always there for her and her husband, Mark. I thought we were incredibly close. She'd call me every day. We'd have dinner together at least twice a week, and she'd always tell me how much she loved her dear old dad. I was so proud of the woman she'd become, or so I thought. Tonight was supposed to be another one of those cozy family dinners. I'd even bought a special bottle of wine she loved. But as I stood there, phone in hand, my lawyer's message blinking on the screen, a sense of dread washed over me. With a trembling hand, I called him back. "John, what's wrong?" I asked, my voice barely a whisper. His tone was grim. "David, are you sitting down?" he said. He then proceeded to unravel a conspiracy so cruel, so calculated, it felt like something out of a movie. He told me that during a routine review of my estate documents, he'd noticed some irregularities. He dug deeper, and what he found was a systematic and heartless scheme, orchestrated by my own daughter. She had been forging my signature on financial documents for months, slowly draining my savings accounts. She'd even managed to take out loans in my name, using my perfect credit history. My retirement, my life's work, was vanishing. But that wasn't even the worst part. John explained that the final piece of her plan was set to happen tonight. During our dinner, she was going to have me sign some routine paperwork for my estate. She told me it was just to simplify things for the future. In reality, it was a document that would transfer ownership of my house, my final and most valuable asset, directly into her name. She was planning to take everything, leaving me with nothing, all while smiling and calling me her loving father. The betrayal was so profound, it felt like a physical blow. I couldn't breathe. My own daughter, my sweet Chloe, was a thief. She saw me not as her father, but as a bank to be emptied. And just when I thought it couldn't get any worse, he dropped the final bomb. He'd found emails between Chloe and her husband, Mark. They weren't just taking my money. They were planning my future. They were looking into low-cost nursing homes, places they described as out of the way where I wouldn't be a bother. They were going to steal my home and then discard me like a piece of old furniture. The naval dad, as they called me in their emails, was supposed to just fade away quietly while they lived lavishly on my life savings. If you enjoy emotional and dramatic revenge stories, please subscribe for more. A cold rage, unlike anything I'd ever felt, replaced the shock and heartbreak. The man they saw as old and naive was about to show them just how wrong they were. I texted Chloe. "So sorry, honey. Not feeling well. Have to cancel dinner. Rain check soon." Her reply came almost instantly. "Oh no, Dad. Hope you feel better. Anything I can do?" The hypocrisy made my blood run cold. I hung up with my lawyer after we agreed on a plan. There would be no second chances, no tearful confrontations. She had declared war on me, and I was going to finish it. My next call was to the police department, where I scheduled a meeting with a detective in the financial crimes unit for first thing in the morning. That night, I didn't sleep. I sat in my living room, the house silent around me, and gathered every piece of evidence John had sent over. Forged checks, fake loan applications, and copies of those sickening emails between Chloe and Mark. Each document was a fresh stab in the heart. I looked at the photos on my mantelpiece, Chloe as a little girl on my shoulders, her smiling face at her college graduation, a picture from her wedding day where I was proudly walking her down the aisle. Was any of it real? Or had she been planning this all along, seeing me only as a stepping stone to a wealthier life? The sweet, loving daughter I knew had been a performance, a long con, and I was the mark. The next morning, I walked into the police station with a heavy heart but a clear mind. I sat with Detective Miller for over 2 hours, laying out the entire sordid story. I showed him the forged signatures, the bank statements showing unauthorized transfers, and the printed emails where Chloe and Mark plotted to steal my home and dispose of me. The detective's expression grew more serious with each page he turned. He looked at me with a mixture of pity and respect. "Mr. Thompson," he said, "this is one of the most cold-blooded cases of elder fraud I've ever seen. We're going to take this very seriously." He assured me they had more than enough to proceed with charges. They would secure a warrant and pay my daughter and her husband a visit. I went home and waited. The hours crawled by. I thought about what Chloe must be thinking. She probably believed her sick old dad was at home, feeling sorry for himself, completely unaware of her grand plan. She would be getting impatient, annoyed that her final move had been delayed. She probably thought she'd just try again in a few days. The arrogance of it all was staggering. They had underestimated me completely. They saw a grieving widower, a lonely old man. They failed to see the man who had built a business from scratch, the man who had provided for his family his entire life, the man who would not go down without a fight. Then, my phone rang. It was Detective Miller. "We're on our way now, Mr. Thompson. The warrant is signed." I took a deep breath. This was it. There was no turning back. I imagined the scene. Chloe and Mark, probably sitting at their expensive kitchen island, enjoying a leisurely Saturday breakfast in the house I helped them buy. They'd be sipping coffee, maybe laughing about how their plan was almost complete. They would have no idea that their perfect, curated life was about to be shattered. They never expected their naive old dad to outsmart them. The knock on their door wouldn't be a friendly neighbor. It would be the police. They would be confused at first, then panicked as the officers presented the warrant. The cuffs would feel cold on their wrists. The dream they had built on a foundation of lies and betrayal would crumble to dust in a matter of minutes. I felt a strange mix of sadness and vindication. I was mourning the daughter I thought I had, but I was also ensuring that the monster she had become would face justice. She had made her choice, and now she would face the consequences. My love for her had died, replaced by a steely resolve. They thought they were closing a chapter on me, but they didn't realize I was the one writing the end of their story. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe for more Reddit-style revenge stories.